People of faith feel that if I express who I am and what I believe, I may be judged, I may be disadvantaged, I may be marginalised, I may be ostracised.
There's a lot of Islamophobic rhetoric at the moment, be it on the internet, be it outside. The younger generation, it's harder for them to kind of express their religious views.
To say that you have to cower and be secretive and hide in order to live a life of faith, that's what we're used to from Soviet Russia, from contemporary China. That's not the way we should be living in a Western liberal democracy.
I have discussed and seen in many of my students and others working in sexual health area, overt bullying. I have had a young man screaming at me in Westfield, Parramatta, saying I was a transphobe and a homophobe. I had a letter from the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine saying that they would need to revoke my honorary title. Personal, academic, and professional challenges just because I expressed Christian sexual ethics to a group of young people who chose to be there.
Some Christians I know used to meet in a pub to read the Bible and pray, but they were asked by the proprietor to find another venue because it wasn't appropriate for them.
My student actually came to me and she said, "Oh, we were reading Bible in our lunchtime and we were told to stop because you're doing religious activity on school ground."
We've got a situation at the moment where an employing body want to roster some of our members to work on Sabbath, and they're saying, well, I can't do that in good faith. And the employer's saying, well, pretty much tough.
When it comes to vilification and to other forms of discrimination, white Western Christians like me don't get it anywhere near as bad as my Muslim brothers and sisters or Jewish brothers and sisters.
When I drop off my 3-year-old daughter at her preschool and I have to walk past an armed guard, that's a chilling reality.
You know, this is not normal, but a whole generation of Jewish kids have grown up, this is normal.
I sit on the Joint Committee on Intelligence and Security. And when you have the Director General of ASIO saying about half of ASIO's work now is dealing with politically motivated violence, which includes anti-Semitic activity, you understand why we are needing to take these measures and have security at our buildings.
I could actually literally talk for hours on the types of incidents just over the 9 years that I've been doing the anti-Semitism report, whether it's physical assaults or harassment of Jews, which is really common. There's a beautiful mural in Bondi of birds, and last year someone wrote in the middle of that graffiti, "Kill the Jews."
Unfortunately, anti-Semitism is on the rise. There's a 35% increase in the last 12 months in anti-Semitic incidents. I think in the previous year there was a 60% increase on the year before that.
It takes a huge amount of time, of effort, of money in order to protect ourselves. Thank God we've not been the victims of a serious attack in recent years.
I have a mosque in my electorate. The day after the Christchurch shooting, I deliberately chose to go and be with the community. I rang the trustee of the mosque and I said, I want to be with your community while you pray, and to say to them that it was important that they showed up and that they were able to practice their religion the day after Christchurch, just like I want to be able to practice my religion every Shabbat and every festival.
Particularly post-Christchurch, you would assume that A, religious freedoms and B, religious protections are going to be at the forefront. But unfortunately, that's not been the case. So when I'm often asked about sharing stories of Muslim women in particular, of having experienced situations where they were the target of Islamophobia, I just don't know to what extent I should share these stories because they are very confronting.
I saw my mum being verbally abused and attacked many times, like many times.
I have, someone who's been spat on. I have someone who's had their scarf ripped off their head. I've had someone who's been punched in the stomach while they're pregnant. What really makes these stories quite disturbing is that all of them took place in public. The Crimes Act, Section 93Z, we've been in deep conversation with police about that. It's the hate crime. The defect in the law is that it's not actually been utilised. Nobody's been prosecuted under that particular legislation as yet because there haven't been sufficient grounds.
If we're going to make good on our claim that we're a thriving, successful multicultural society, we can't rest on our laurels. We have to make sure we carry that out as a society in practice, and that we listen to the claims, the views, the interests of the different cultural groups that make up our society.